My name is Suneson, and I have been working as an illustrator since 1980. 35 years of ongoing project, and suddenly it changed. A couple of years ago, I didn't have any more illustration jobs, so I turned in my career to be something else. I started with wood sculpture. But what happened? I started to look at back in history. Gustav III established the Royal Academy. That is 1867, the Impressionists, and the art critic from Sweden said that must have been made in a madhouse. And I started to look into the history, just this 18th and 19th century, and I found out that Östersund was the same critic that told about the madhouse, said that this was the most brilliant painting he ever had seen by the young artist. And he's painting in the manner of Egon Lundgren. Who is Egon Lundgren? I checked it up at the Svensk Konstnärs Lexicon, and he was called the father of the Swedish watercolor. He was born in 1850, and he started as a student in 1835. And later in his life, he wrote that it was disgusting to go at the art academy. 1840, he traveled to Paris, and he wrote a lot of letters, and he made a lot of books, and he was very well spread. And when he came to Paris the first time, he was impressed with Horace Vernet, who painted like that. He went on a scholarship to Rome in 1842, and in order to get the money, he had to send home paintings, but the Academy didn't like what he was sending home. So he said that he needed, therefore, much more money. And he said, maybe I paint too much Italian style. I could probably paint some Vikings. And he said also, I'm working on a painting with a goat and 2 children, but it's too big to be sent home. After 10 years, he went to Spain, and there he met English artists who painted in that genre called tourist art, something I never heard about. And it was very popular, and he started now to paint in watercolor too. That's Egon's painting, and this is John Philip. And at this time, there was a big market for coffee table books in England. And Turner, for example, he did this watercolor in Venice. And then Engraver did that, and they gave out a lot of titles. It was a big business, and it was big books. And Egon, 1853, went to England, and he was introduced to the court, and he was the house painter to Queen Victoria, and he was making a huge career and doing things like this. And 1855, he went to Paris to the Salon Beaux-Arts, and then he returned to this Vernet. And at this time he said, he's a painting officer, a military baroque poet, born without any sense of color. That was his impression 15 years later of Vernet. But he liked Delacroix. 1858, he was sent to India on a commission because he wanted to make a coffee table book about the uprising in India. So he painted 500 paintings, but they were all owned by Agnew & Son. And by an internal legal fight, there was never a book, but they owned all the rights. And I could see that this is what he said. A painting should be finished. I'm worried. It's not an unforgivable lie to draw all details in the desert ocean of laziness and disorder. That was Egon's word about the modern paintings. And Egon himself, he made paintings like this, even though he's sad, but he considered this as a sketch, not a finished work. And he didn't think this should be exposed. And I thought, maybe this is because the present now will later be the past. And the first one will later be last, because the time they are changing. This is an idea to make an animation movie about this subject. And this is my last sentence. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way.